Oh my gosh.
uh,
He couldn't even get like an honorable death.
it was a good plan though.
Hello, watchers. We're watching whatever. I'm Nathan,
Danny.
and we're back here today with Shogun Episode 7. Uh, Before we start, there are a couple of things we want to make sure we correct. We've had some viewers informing us of things that we were getting wrong. So it's not the former Shogun. The guy was never a Shogun. He's a Taiko, right? So we want to make sure we correct that because we understand. There's a little bit of frustration when we watch. When I've watched like people reacting like a Korean movie or TV and they say something wrong, it gets a little frustrating because you want them to say the right thing. You want to phrase it right. So, but obviously this is not something we're familiar with. So we're trying to learn as we go. If we do make mistakes, please understand and give us the correction so we know. So next time we're not making those mistakes. And also with Anna Sawai, I think Sawai is how you say her name. But yeah, she is fluent in Japanese. But we've also found out that they're speaking an older Japanese. It's a period piece, so it's the Japanese of that time, which is very understandable because a lot of the American dramas that are period pieces or Korean movies and dramas that we've seen where they a lot of times they will speak a more uh the more traditional language of the time. So that would that obviously makes sense. But since we don't understand Japanese, I couldn't tell if it was anything different from modern day Japanese, but we know that now. So, you know, and yeah, we're very willing here just to admit, yeah, we made a mistake and to correct ourselves. So, episode 6, we ended it with Toranaga had Blackthorn go to the was it Whispering, not Whispering Willow Wind, the tea house, right, with Kiko. And it ends up, how did that one end? How did episode 6 end?
I can't remember. I really can't remember. Uh,
Yeah, I know they came out of the tea house. That was the scene with Mariko and Blackthorn. Remember where Kiko
oh
kind of
right,
sat off to the side of her, and the camera
right,
moved in a way so you only see Mariko.
right.
Very intense scene. And then Blackthorn comes out, and you can see some jealousy with Toranaga's son and Yabushige's nephew.
Oh right,
Right? How he's getting all the luck, he's getting everything basically.
right,
So that's what I remember so far from the end of episode 7 and 6, and I'm sure the recap will give us a little bit of something here.
right.
So before we start, everyone watching on YouTube, thank you for being here with us. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Again, tell us if there's something that we got wrong that we can fix. Please remember that these are recorded ahead of time. So when you leave a comment for a video, usually we've already had like another 3 of them recorded done already. So when we do make the adjustment or the fix, it's going to be on a much later video, but we are getting those. And if you want to check us out on our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/watching whatever. You can watch our full length reaction there, our full commentaries, because a lot of that stuff gets edited down for YouTube. For our Patreon subscribers, we thank you very much for joining us here. Shout out to Soundbeam, our Patreon supporter. Hopefully we can continue to grow, get more supporters here, and keep doing this and doing what we really enjoy, which is watching TV and movies and giving you our feedbacks on it, our thoughts, whether they're right or wrong, whether they're silly, whatever it is that, however, obviously these are our opinions about it. So it's not like it's a end all be all for it. Or be all end all. Sorry, I got that switched, I think. It's been a long time since I've had to speak a lot of English, so I'm forgetting a lot of stuff.
uh,
But yeah, we're gonna start the show. Are they already fight? Oh, is this a flashback? It's got to be a flashback. Yeah.
just a little kid.
I know. 46 years ago, so he's got to be what, maybe 20?
Looks
Probably
younger, dude.
probably younger.
Yeah.
わしは戦の振動に解釈されたとそう書き記してもらいたい
Maybe like 16 or something.
Crazy though that like the little kids get all this respect because they were born into a certain family or whatever, you know?
Yeah, man. To already be fighting a war at that age.
Yeah, man. Dang.
I guess it isn't too far off from soldiers, it's like the US, 18 years old and going into
That's
battle.
true, man.
That's why not
Dude, that
just
actually looks like a
why not just cut the head? Why go through that first? It's like
right. Because I guess like when you cut your own guts, it's like voluntary, right?
yeah, but I mean it's just extra pain you have to go through before you die.
Right.
So for anyone who skipped the intro, I wanted to just mention that we did understand our mistakes. We kept calling the former taiko who died a shogun, which we found out he was not a shogun. He's just a taiko. And so she I can't remember his wife's name, but yeah, she's a former taiko's wife, not the shogun's wife. We kept saying that. And we found out that they're speaking traditional, like older Japanese here, so it's not the modern day Japanese language that they're speaking. And that Anna Sawai is fluent in Japanese. But they still had to learn a bit of this language because it's not common.
Think the half brother will be someone like famous that we might recognize. They're giving him a pretty big intro.
He's probably famous. I don't know if I'd recognize him. He maybe like a very famous Japanese actor, right? But not really seen in American cinema maybe, or Western cinema.
そこで困り果てた兄上は愚帝の大軍勢を呼びつけるほかなかったというわけでござるか
息災であるようじゃの弟よ
おお噂はまことでござったか万人を手なずけられたと
Barbarian.
You've tamed him. Yeah, I'm not recognizing the brother.
Yeah, me neither.
安心は我が旗本じゃ今宵は大いに飲み明かそうではないか
He's like an easygoing dude.
Yeah, he feels a lot more, much more relaxed and just chill.
Like, yeah.
今宵の宴では行儀よく振る舞うように伝えよう鉄砲ではなく刀を身につけ
Lord, may I ask?
皇天で自分に命ぜられる役割についてお尋ねでございまする。
何も決めてはおらぬ
What exactly is Koten?
I urge you to let this go.
Please tell him I am ready.
どんな宿命が待ち構えていようと。
That would be annoying.
Yeah.
富士
おじい様、面目次第もござりませぬ。おいでになるとは存じもせず。
よう目が行き届いておるの。
That looks so nice right there.
そのことでもござりませぬ。
これはわしからお前に手渡したいと思うての。
The ashes of her.
おかげさまでまた皆が揃いました。このお務めを果たしましたら、私も自害して灰になるつもりにございます。
なぜ生きようとせぬ。
この先に勝利があるのでございましょうか。
一同が全軍を挙げて大坂に攻めてこぬかの初めて敵を討ち取った時は初めて女子を知るより心地よいものじゃと聞いたが
それは女子によりますぞ
What's so funny?
Saiki-sama remarks about how long it has been since he has seen Nagakado-sama.
That look of anger on Buntaro.
さぞや誇らしいことにございましょうな奥方様があのように一心に安心様への務めを果たされるのをご覧になると
See, everyone's trying to start some shit.
Everyone's trying to start shit.
我が父の若い頃の話をしてくださいませぬか
わしが聞いた話では恥さらしの溝口が降参して神戸を垂れた時 わずか12の小わっぱでありながら
12?
12.
一頭のもとに切り落としたのじゃ。
Did he even hit puberty then?
Right.
兄上の話がもう一つあるぞ。兄上が名役を強固なものにする人質として今谷家に送られたその日のこと。我らが母上は兄上に勇ましゅう振る舞いと言われた。やが兄上は
He cried or pissed his pants?
袴にクソを漏らし
No one's laughing.
別の申し出を受けたばかりでござってな。
Damn.
Oh my gosh, are they gonna get betrayed?
Damn.
関所はすべて抑えてある。
Dang.
こたび虎長公の儀につき大老衆の命により速やかに降伏の上大坂に途上なさるべく候こと。なお返答の儀は当方の使者大老佐伯信達殿に申し伝えられるべく候。
And I was just gonna say they made him a regent.
Right.
Okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. But
I
then
should
it
have,
just
but I
became
didn't.
so obvious. Yeah, like as soon as like, yeah, I didn't think he'd betray his own brother.
You know, I've been having in the back of my mind. There's something about Toranaga that I have my suspicions about.
What do you mean?
Remember how I said before when he declared he didn't want to be Shogun?
Uh-huh.
But I was saying secretly he does.
Right.
指導様はその返答として
I'll talk about it
五十嵐
after.
殿をそなたのもとへ戻そうとお考えになったのじゃ。
Whose head is this?
He sent a general. Dang. So basically he's no longer a double agent because they don't trust him anymore.
I guess I didn't really catch it properly.
Oh.
And they took his boat.
刀を血に濡らして戦いまするか。
何故戦場に出たことのない者は総じて戦をしたがるのかの。
殿は江戸に新しい都を作りになっておられます。
Time's almost up.
一丁分を思い浮かべてくださります。その囲いの中に遊女屋というよりは私がこの地に作りました茶屋のような店をひとまとめに集めるのでござります。幼い頃から稽古を積んだ者が老いても芸で身を立てられるようにしてくださります。
その方の途方もない願いを叶えるにはわしの先行きは短すぎよ。
そうでございましょうか。
我が宿命はすでに定まった。
ただ腑に落ちぬのでございます。迫り来る軍勢あらば患者が知らせるわけがなかろうに、手勢を弱らせたまま放っておいて弟君を迎えると、何故かようにうかつな過ちを。
わしが望んでそうしておると思うのか。
お詫び申し上げまする殿。こんな遊女の慣れの果てのババアに線香ももうとっくに燃え尽きました。
So the fact that his troops were exposed, is it the fault of Asano?
I'm very lost.
虎長様に必ず目論見柄と信じておられるのは何故にございまするか。
他に道があるか。幸福か。幸福の術など父上は知る由もないが、我らに入り用なのは策のみじゃ。ふぬけ侍どもを片っ端から叩き切ってくれようぞ。
抜け侍か。こたびはわしも思い悩んでおる。
ご自分のされたことを恥とは思われませぬか。
名を残すためとあらば恥も外聞もあるものか。己はどうじゃ長門。鶏のように殺され、名も立てぬうちに忘れ去られるのじゃぞ。
それが我が宿命ならば見事に死んでみせまする。
何が見事か。死とは森の中の孤独な道に過ぎぬ。
わしはな、この宿命に縛られておる。どれほど死を避けても次の死が待っておる。なぜお前に話しておるんだろう。風に向かって小便をしているようなものじゃ。抜け、早くしろ。
Holding like a fencing sword.
Now I'm picking up the sword calmly. Well, go on then. Might as well be now.
To show him like you're not a part of this.
I felt like that was more of just his anger and jealousy coming out.
あの日忠義殿が父上のためにしたことをの本来ならば拙者が石堂の比例を咎めるべきでござった。拙者にもっと度胸があれば忠義殿も藤殿の息子もまだ生きておったものを。
我らはできる時にできることをいたすもの。
佐々木の領地はすべて孫たちが成人した折に継がせるように。
This dude's writing a will.
お銀じゃ。江戸に2丁の土地を用意し、お銀の望むように使わせよ。殿、恐れながら殿に申し上げたき義がございます。我らが死ぬ前に拙者に万人の首を取らせてくださりません。あいつが妻に向ける目つきが気に入りません。その方の妻の心を盗もうとしておると申すか。その通りであると思うなら、妻の首も即座に跳ねるのが筋であろう。
私の命は夫の思うがままでござりまする。
Yeah.
拙者は妻に過ちがあったと思うておりまする。ならば安心も責められまい。
This fool is like spiraling.
Yeah.
父の仇と戦うわしの側におるのか、それとも万人の側におるのか。
私は殿に心からの忠義を尽くしてまいりました。今宵自害することをお許しくださりませ。この業の深い人生から。
Ask for permission to.
Why are all the women, both women, her and Fuji, are just look, you know, like this is their end goal.
They're gonna serve until they're allowed to like.
I mean, I could understand, you know, the pain like that Fuji's going through, but I don't know. Different times, different thoughts.
ゆうべ弟がたわけたことを言い出したとき、何故止めなんだ。敵将の首をはねた話よ。バカらしい。一刀のもとに切り落としたじゃと。
くたびでございましたぞ。首が落ちたのは。
Oh my gosh.
むごいことをなされましたな。
That's horrible. Oh.
I'm sure he was already dead before
Yeah.
9 strokes.
Oh man. It must be horrible for everyone to watch that. Horrible to be the one like trying to chop the dude's head off. Ugh.
Like I said, it was messy.
では正式なご返答。
I think he's gonna surrender himself.
わしはその方に降伏し、大坂に参ることを承知いたす。そこで大老衆、ひいては石堂殿のご意向に従おう。皇天は誤りであった。
The old great warlord, brilliant master of trickery, who tricked his own loyal vassals into a noiseless smothering. 皆死ぬ。
私たちのまぐあいを高めさせていただいてもよろしいございまするか。
Is she going to do something to him?
殿の喜びを高める道具がございます。
取ってまいれ。ようやく男になろうと思うたか。
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Really? He couldn't even get like an honorable death.
Oh, dude. It was a good plan, though.
Yeah.
この死に様のどこが見事じゃ。
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Sorry everyone for who's watching if I was kind of quiet throughout most of this. There's a lot I was trying to absorb in, trying to understand, and half the time I just kind of got lost in the show and what was going on.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, what an ending to an episode.
Yeah, man.
So first of all, I don't feel sad about this because I didn't really care about his character.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I actually found him kind of an annoying. The way they wrote him, I found him as an annoying character, right? A little bit whiny and you know that typical trope of the one who's always trying to prove himself but will cry and complain about everything. So yeah, I don't feel bad at all that he died.
Uh-huh.
But the way he died is just, I mean, with all his talks of the beauty of having a glorious death and,
Right.
you know, getting his first real kill in battle and this and that, and then to slip on a rock and crack your head, it makes him really pathetic. Right? Not like pathetic in like, you know, as a person, but that whole vision of glory that he had, right? It just makes it so pathetic that it had to end up this way for him. But
so what's the message there?
The message to me is that, like he was saying, right, there's no beauty in death, right? Whereas these guys have this idea of, you know, like he kept saying it all throughout the show, right? And even when he talked about earlier, killing your first you know, your first kill in battle is better than being with a woman, and right, he has all these delusions of grandeur, as we would call it. And his uncle was like, "Look, man, there's no beauty in dying, right? Death is death; it's an end. So what's glorious about that?" And I think it's just kind of showing us that, you know, yeah, I mean, not only is there no glory in death, but you died in a very miserable, pathetic way.
I thought it was gonna go a totally different way. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go a totally different way.
I thought he was gonna get his uncle there.
Right. Or like just overall, I thought like, you know, they had a lot of scenes with like the younger generation. I think we talked about it previously, and how they're trying to make a name for themselves, and right now they're kind of like they were like kind of stumbling around, and I thought like they would get it together and they were gonna play like a significant role in like you know, in kind of helping the cause. And I thought like because the message was gonna be something like, you know, even the younger generations need to contribute to change or whatever, you know. But man, I'm shocked. I mean, he went out like in a very kind of yeah, like you said, like a, you know, pretty pathetic way. I mean, I think his intentions were great. I think like it would have been amazing had he succeeded, you know. Yeah, I mean, it would have been pretty dope, but yeah, now I don't see how Toranaga gets out of it, you know.
Yeah,
it's got to be Blackthorn then.
That was my thought initially, right? That Toranaga is, you know, once his uncle revealed that he was a new regent, I figured, okay, Toranaga is gonna go surrender, and they're gonna end up making like a basically a rescue attempt, right? To go in and either rescue him or that they decide they're gonna do their own war again, you know, in Osaka.
Right.
So now, yeah, but so he did it himself, right? Because you see a couple soldiers, but you don't see Omi, you know, Yabushige's nephew. So he wasn't even a part of it.
Right.
And like you were saying earlier, right? Yabushige at this point has no choice but to side with Toranaga now, because Ishida's like, we're done, right?
Right.
You're no longer someone I trust.
Right. Like I think I mean, I think I missed some of that dialogue in that scene, but essentially he sent one of his generals or something to kind of share some information or something.
And he sent his head back.
Basically they just sent his head back in a basket, right? So it's like, we don't need you anymore, or right. I think he's playing both sides, like, you know, too obviously, I think. And yeah.
It's kind of making him choose. right?
Right.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't have a choice anymore. Yeah, I missed some of that
Right. At
dialogue
least
too,
that's
because
my understanding.
yeah, because during that time I was actually thinking about something else within the story, and it made me kind of miss a bit of the dialogue. Right, I got distracted with my
Right.
thoughts there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, me too.
one of the unfortunate things with doing a reaction video is, you know, I mean, we could go back and rewatch that part right there, but like normally I would have been like, oh shoot, I missed that, and I rewind it and go back and check it out.
Right.
But in a reaction video, we want to just kind of keep it continuous, and I could always go back later afterwards just to rewatch it and just make sure I
Right.
got it right, or whatever I missed. So something I had written down, and like I said, this is the thought I had early on, is that Toranaga is playing everybody, right? I have this sinking feeling that he's not the way they're
uh,
portraying him, right? His real character
okay.
is different
Well,
from what they're portraying him. Right?
okay.
That
Right. I think you said that before. Like he
yeah,
kind of acts like, oh, I don't care about the Shogun, but like he really has ambitions for it. So what do you think he's doing right now when he's like surrendering?
that's the question, right? Because does he have some plan, or because they call it,
Uh,
they call him all throughout master tactician, right?
right.
He's a genius with it. So it would seem like
Right.
he has something up his sleeve possibly, or at this point maybe he's finally like, okay, because of the earthquake of what it did and destroying his army, it's kind of like he doesn't have anything left, right?
Uh-huh.
you know um the what's it called, nature basically
Right.
took out a lot of his contingency plans that he had in mind.
Right.
Act of God, as you would call it.
Right.
So
So
I don't know,
this is
maybe
what I was
this is,
thinking.
yeah, maybe this is the point where for him it was like, yeah, it's over, right? His half brother betrayed him. He doesn't have the army, so it's like, okay, well, at this point now I need to, I just need to go and accept my fate.
Right.
But still in the back of my mind, it's something's telling me that no, there's something there.
There it has to be. For me, there's two clues that like he's not just like kind of surrendering and giving up. One is that I mean, you know, Mariko was like, dude, let me just end it, dude. And he's like, nah, dude. Like I don't give you permission because you got to go help me finish these plans. Why would he like treat her that way and be that way if he didn't have something going on, you know? Secondly, like I think with um like even if he had an inkling that like we're gonna lose and I'm gonna like this is gonna fail, maybe he would have given her what she wanted, but at that point he was basically saying like no, we're going, you got to stick with me to the end. Another thing is that that lady when she comes for the stick of time, I mean this, I think this
Yeah,
episode was called like stick of time or something.
yeah,
And
a
maybe
stick of
like
time.
I think yeah, I think one is that like her kind of coming to him and giving that spiel
There's
is
definitely an importance to it. There's no reason for them
right.
to put that in unless there's meaning to that.
I was thinking like, so she thought she noticed something, or she thought he was like he must have been planning something, and I think maybe he was. Maybe he did deliberately. At first, I thought maybe it was Asano's character who was like kind of in charge of that area, who kind of left them exposed,
Hmm.
because he had schemes with Ishido or whatever, and or maybe he even was plotting with Toranaga's brother or whatever. But I don't think that's what it is. I think maybe I don't know, man. Maybe he did it on purpose so that he would get caught by his brother. Like he deliberately, like there's some kind of like other plan. There has to be, right? So I think he must have known like his brother was gonna betray him or something. Ah, I don't know, man.
I think
I gotta figure this out.
that might be reaching too
Uh,
deep.
like
Right.
why? Like it does seem like a really serious tactical mistake to let everyone know that you've been like severely weakened by the earthquake, and to not protect what you have, right? Like his brother came in, just easily kind of just took, like, we blocked all exits or whatever, I feel like if he is such a master tactician, then he wouldn't have allowed that to happen. And so I was thinking, like, while
How
watching
did
it, then it has to be Asano. Asano must have sabotaged like him, But then when we see that Ishido is like, I don't need you anymore, right? Uh, I think like maybe it was supposed to show us that it wasn't him who did it.
I just don't know that it's so there's so many different angles and elements at play with all these different characters
Yeah,
and
man.
and with and instead of just being able to focus in and watch it, doing it as a reaction, there are times where you do kind of lose track a little bit of what you're watching because you're trying to say something or articulate something.
Right.
But and with the complexity of the show, there's so much going on that I wasn't able to understand properly, or
Right.
I mean, I it's hard to guess what's going to happen. Most other shows are not that hard, right? Most of the time, you're like,
Right.
okay, I can kind of see where it's going. The only
Right.
thing I can see going here right now, the one thing that I'm pretty sure of is that they're gonna go to Osaka and there's gonna be something
Oh,
happening there.
right.
That's the only thing
I was
I'm sure
me
about.
Right. I was thinking like maybe also one of the reasons we can't guess is because like in a lot of shows, like we just expect people to act like, like get revenge, right? Like all those things that like the motivations seem kind of more like obvious, and like how they like their course of action seems obvious. But here, because there's like they're following like like closely the rules of war and etiquette and tradition and things, it's hard to predict like who's gonna break the rules to kind of get what they want. How far are they gonna go past the line to get what they want? Right? Like
Yeah.
and I think that makes it harder to predict. um
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
it's
uh
but yeah, but overall the
right.
episode, another great episode, right?
Yeah.
Built up a lot of tension. You can see
Yeah.
Bunto's character, right? He's kind of losing
Right.
it now at this point.
Yeah.
You can see in a
Yeah.
lot of scenes where he's sitting there, and before it was kind of he was kind of just still somewhat calm and just kind of showing off like an angry face. But now in almost every shot you see him,
Right.
he's like shaking with anger,
Yeah.
right?
And
There's
he actually like
visible.
verbalized his feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
He
He
verbalized his
actually went
feelings. He
to
he threatened
Toranaga and was like,
Blackthorn
dude,
with
I
the
want to.
sword.
Yeah. And then he goes to, and he knows that's wrong, right? He can't
Yeah.
do it. I mean, because that's disrespecting Toranaga, right? This is like
Yeah.
his like one of his trusted guys. So he goes and asks for permission, like, I can't wait anymore. Can I kill this dude? And Toranaga's like, nah. And the crazy
Yeah.
thing is like because of tradition and rules and respect, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it no
Yeah.
matter how much he wants to. Yeah. And just like she can't without permission, he's not gonna like get his revenge or whatever, unless like
Can you
he's allowed
can
to.
you can you stop saying like the taking out
Oh,
yourself
I'm
for
sorry, I'm sorry.
YouTube?
Right. Sorry.
For YouTube, we have to be
Unalive.
careful with that. Yeah,
Right.
she has
Yeah.
to, yeah, even she needs permission to basically take herself out, right?
Right. One thing I
Um,
was thinking is the women in this episode, we see um uh Mariko, she's ready to like unalive herself. She doesn't see a future beyond like what's happening right now, right?
yeah,
She wants to help Tornaga win, but like the end goal is I'll help you win so I can get out of here or whatever.
hmm,
I think it seems like uh what's her name? Oh my gosh,
Fuji.
forgot her name. Yeah, Fuji is like ready to like, I mean, she also is like kind of waiting to kind of unalive,
Oh,
right? But she's
she's
also like
wanted
kind
to
of
from the beginning.
practicing. Uh-huh. Yeah. but she's practicing to like fight. And so in her own way, she's kind of trying to help the cause so she can do her thing, right? And then we have like the courtesans, like the kind of like the like the less respected, well, respected in a different way, but like she's thinking about the future, like way into the future, like, hey, even if you can, you kind of promise us like to build a district or we can have some power, right?
Yeah.
Even if you die, right? And so it's like it's very interesting, like how like the nobles and like the kind of the upper crust, they're just like like waiting to like exit the earth or whatever. But
They're
this
waiting to
lady,
die,
she's like
but
planning into and this lady's like planning into the future for not just for herself but for like others of her kind. Like, dude, they want to get some more like power and safety by having like a red light, a legal like red light district type thing. It seems like,
yeah.
it's pretty interesting. There she's fighting more for the cause of like, I don't know, like women or whatever than they are. Right? And it's probably because of like the structure and the rules of the society that doesn't allow them to kind of fight for a cause in any way to begin with, right? Unless it's helping like men get revenge on men or whatever. Right.
One thing I did wanna talk about. I'm trying to remember with Puntaro.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Okay, what do you think is how do you think they're going to lead this character coming up? Right? We could see he's starting to lose it. He's not acting as rational as he was. Right?
Right.
He's letting his anger get the better of him. What do you think's going to happen? How are they going to develop his character for the last few episodes?
That's a good question. I think like um his sense of duty is still really strong, right? He wanted to like kind of uh like risk his life to get the message to their troops in Edo about what's going on or whatever, right? But they said, no, no, you can't do that, right? So I think he's still like a badass or whatever, but maybe it's about like, I don't know, like I'm not sure. Like if
Okay.
maybe the writers feel like he deserved it because he treated his wife like crap, and then for whatever reason, right? And then now like he realizes like maybe he really loves her and he still wants her, but it's too late.
Yeah, 'cause my thinking is I feel like so if they do go end up having this big fight in Osaka,
Mhm.
I'm thinking, is there going to be a moment where in that moment, in that frenzy when they're fighting, he's going to see Blackthorn, he's going to go after him?
Maybe, maybe. This is one of my things. I think I may have talked about this before. Is that Buntaro is shown to be brave and loyal and all that, and Asano is shown to be just a freaking like the least trustworthy like dude there. I feel like when it really counts, like the roles are gonna get flipped. That's one of
Roles are
my
going to get flipped.
predictions. Is when it really matters, like when it comes down to like changing the course of battle or whatever. I think Buntaro's kind of like hatred for Blackthorn is gonna lead him to almost sabotage everything. And I think when Asano actually has a chance to really kind of betray Toranaga and change the tides, he's gonna remain loyal. I think those are that's my prediction. Like this whole show, like we keep getting reminded, like, dude, this fool can't be trusted, this fool can't be trusted, or this dude's badass, and I think it's gonna be like flipped on its head.
Yeah, I
That's
can
just one
see
of
that.
my
I can
things.
see that. I'm wondering,
uh,
will Blackthorn actually be the one to kill Buntaro? Right?
that would be
Or is it gonna be
crazy.
like,
That
or is
would
it
be
gonna be
crazy.
like Yabushi? Oh, by the way, so we're still trying to learn the names of. Danny is very familiar with Asano, the actor, which is why he calls him Asano and not his character name. So just so you know, he's talking about Yabushige, the character,
My
which is
bad.
Asano, the actor. No,
uh,
because there's a lot of people we don't really remember the name. We just call him by their what we know him as.
uh,
Toranaga's son, right?
right,
Yabushige's nephew or Asano.
right,
But
right.
so is Blackthorn gonna be the one to take out Puntaro, or is it going to be Yabushige who jumps in and helps him and protects him or something? Or maybe
I don't
no,
know,
Mariko
man.
herself wouldn't be. You know, I can't even guess. I can't even guess.
I can't guess.
We could be
Can't
so
guess.
wrong about every single thing. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna guess. There's just
Yeah.
this show is it's got the similar, like I said, it's got the similar feel of Game of Thrones where you just couldn't really guess what was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I got
So-
another prediction. Possible.
Okay.
I'm trying to like put everything out there. One is, as much as Puntaro hates Blackthorn, and he even asked for permission to kill him and everything. Like I think maybe like, and he's been told you can't, right? Just let it go, right? And maybe in battle he will have an opportunity, like you said, to take him out, right? Like in the frenzy of battle or something. But I feel like maybe his loyalty will be so strong and his sense of duty will be so strong, even when he has a chance to take out Blackthorn, he won't. So that goes exactly opposite of what I just predicted earlier. But I feel like those are two
Yeah.
paths I can see for him, you know? Yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
he, as much as he hates him, he ends up protecting
Uh-huh.
Blackthorn and losing his life that way. Right? Like maybe there's a threat on Blackthorn. Someone's about to
Ooh,
attack him and Buntaro
sacrifice
jumps
himself.
in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That'd be
There's so many ways I could go with this. So
Yeah,
we'll
man.
find out as we watch future episodes.
cool.
But all right, well, we're gonna end it here. We had quite a long discussion there about at the end of the episode about what's possibly gonna happen and all this different stuff. Again, we could be wrong about every single thing. We don't know. This
Right.
show has taken us in all sorts of directions here, so which is why I really love it. It's not something that I can lay back and just turn my brain off and go, oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen. This and this and this, right? It's not typical.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really liking this. This is probably one of the best shows I've seen in quite a long time.
Me too, man. Yeah.
So, but yeah, everyone joining us here again on YouTube, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, leave us a comment. Everyone on Patreon, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate you watching along with us. We're going to continue to bring out more content and some Patreon exclusive stuff that I'm planning to do here in the future. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. If I didn't